Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to talk about how to improve and progress your surf skating skills. And the way to go about this, the way that I've managed to get pretty advanced in a relatively short period of time. I started about 18 months ago, and I think I'm running at a fairly high level right now. And I have a way of approaching things. My actual day job is scientist, and I use what are called SMART goals. So I'm setting goals for myself about where I want to be both long term and short term. And the SMART acronym talks about goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So we'll go through that and we'll use some actual surf skating footage along the way. In order to progress and improve your surf skating, you should have both long-term and short-term goals. So long-term goals is, let's say that you've just started surf skating this year. You figured out how to pump and carve on flat land. Your long-term goal might be to be comfortable riding in a skate park, to feel the ability to ride in a bowl smoothly and carve very well in a bowl, something you've never tried yet. In the meantime, your short-term goals are what you want to accomplish each time you go out in session. The best way to improve is to have an achievable goal each time you do a session. So you're trying to learn something new, you're trying to improve something that you can already do, or you're trying to get closer to landing something that you've never done before. By setting those small little bites towards your ultimate goal, it's going to make it a lot easier to get to somewhere that might seem unattainable at the moment. I'm going to use a real-life example from my personal skating to demonstrate this. Back in May, I saw someone who's a friend now, Aiden, who's a skateboarder, drop into the big bowl and do a rock and roll spine transfer over the middle into the small bowl. And I just thought that was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I thought to myself, I bet nobody has done something like that on a surf skate. And I would love to learn how to do that. But at that point in my surf skating, I was not even ready to drop into the small bowl yet. It's about 5 foot from the coping to the bottom of a concrete bowl. It was bigger than anything I'd done. So being able to drop into the small bowl would have been the first step. Being able to drop into the big bowl, the second step, and then figuring out how to do the spine transfer in between. That would be the really high goal for the long term. By breaking it down bit by bit, I actually managed to get there this year. So I had given myself a specific goal. What I wanted to accomplish was being able to do that spine transfer, and I laid out some measurable steps to be able to get there. So the actions I was going to take, I would have to learn to do the small bowl drop-in, the big bowl drop-in, and the transfer in between. I wanted to make sure this was achievable. I knew it would be a stretch, but something that I had belief that with enough practice I could do it. It's important not to set a goal that isn't achievable, something that you know is just not something you're going to be able to accomplish. So you want it to be stretching you. You want to be pushing yourself a little bit, but not make it so insane like, doing a backflip over the spine that it's not going to discourage you if you don't get there or don't get close. The R is for realistic or sometimes relevant. And what that means is this something that's going to contribute to your overall goals? So for my surf skating and where I want to progress, I want to be someone who's sort of innovating with tricks in the sport, and being able to do that spine transfer is something that I felt fit in well with those higher level goals. And the other thing is to make it time bound or a timely goal. So you want a criteria to give yourself a deadline by which you're going to try and achieve this. For some people, it might work to have a calendar year if you can skate all year round. If you're bound by seasonality, like I am here in Canada, my goal was to do it by the time that snow was on the ground in 2021. So that was just one example. I always have several things that I'm trying to improve at once in my surf skating, spanning the whole range from just my style when I'm carving to specific tricks that I want to land. So that helps to keep a variety of things that I'm working on so it doesn't get stale. Every time you go out and have a session, you want to have those short-term goals. And it's really giving you a sense of achievement when you can make some progress towards one of those goals. So it doesn't have to be making a new land every time you go out. It could be that you land something new, It could be that you've got closer than you've ever gotten because you put the work in, you almost landed it. It feels really good just to get that progress forward. And then the other thing is you can take something that you've already done, something that you already know how to do, but get it looking a little bit better, smoother, a longer slide, something like that. By making those little steps along the way, it keeps you motivated, keeps you stoked to keep moving forward. And every time I'm out sessioning, I'm being able to achieve that. Now, the other thing so that you don't burn out is you want to not spend all your time just practicing and achieving those goals. So I like to go out, get a warm-up in, have some fun tricks of lines that I know well so I can get the blood flowing, and then start working on that skill progression. Spend a bit of time working on that. If you find yourself getting frustrated, it's time to stop. And then move on to doing something new, something maybe that would be a stretch goal, something that will be really hard. You've got a little bit of gas left in the tank at the end of your session. Why not just go for something? It's a good way to keep things fresh, but still keep progressing towards those ultimate goals. Another tip that's going to help you improve and progress faster is to try and take advantage of opportunities that you have. And sometimes those opportunities might seem like bad things initially. For instance, when I sprained my wrist trying to do a trick earlier in the summer, it meant that bird slides using my backhand were out. So what I did is I spent that time to really focus and drill using the opposite hand, so doing what I could with my other hand. Another time I injured myself and I really didn't feel like trying anything that would end up with me landing on my hip. So I used that time to focus on my style. So just thinking about those little tiny subtle things with my arms, with my legs, just the motion of my body while riding on the board, not doing anything extreme. And it really made a difference when I looked at the video footage after. That brings me to the next point. If you have the ability to film yourself, it's going to be extremely useful for being able to review, to see how things look, and to be able to assess, what you did when things went right and how you have to adjust so you can come closer to achieving your goals. So if that is something you might be interested in, submitting video of a particular thing you're working on that you're looking for analysis, let me know in the comments. It's something that I'm considering doing over the coming winter. And a lot of people would be open to offering tips as well. If you just ask the SurfSkate community, put some video up on the forums. We have a really supportive community who are often eager to help other surf skaters out. And the last thing, and maybe the most important thing that I'm going to stress, is to make sure that you click that like button. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. But the actual thing that I wanted to stress is to remember that surf skating is about having fun. No matter what your goals are, what you want to achieve, remember that we're doing this to have fun. So if you're getting frustrated, if you get stuck on a trick, don't, go nuts and smash your board or anything like that. Step away from your goals for a second, get back to having fun. Readjust your goals, realign them if you have to. If you set them too high, it's okay to scale that back. It's just part of adapting and being flexible, which is part of surfing and surf skating. So get out there, have fun, and I hope to see you guys improving. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, guys.